What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. I get asked quite frequently about where you should spend your first Chaos 8 amp. Now, Chaos 8 amps, of course, are dropping from floor 30 plus in Onslaught. They've got a very rare chance to drop, and when you get one, it feels like a special moment, no doubt about it. Now, where should you spend your first one? Now, if you're just starting and you're just pushing through Onslaught, you should without a doubt not spend your first amp. You should save that amp until you learn a little bit more about the game and decide exactly what defense you want to really tweak to get to a min-maxing level, and hold on to that amp until you get to that point. Now, there are two exceptions. Now, every time you go from one Chaos tier to another, the quality of the mods that are on the item go up. So if you've got a 10 out of 10 mod at Chaos 5, and you upgrade it to Chaos 6, that 10 out of 10 mod is going to receive a higher value for being in a Chaos 6 container. Now, there's no difference with going from Chaos 7 to Chaos 8. And there's two mods that get a special benefit from being at Chaos 8. And I've actually got both of them right here on my proton beam. So Defense Rate Servo and the Tenacity Servo. If you have a 10 of 10 defense rate or a 10 of 10 tenacity that you want to use on your defense and you put just one amp into it, you can add a lot of value to that defense. First off, let's take a look at tenacity. At Chaos 7, a 10 of 10 is 95% duration of negative status effects. Now, tenacity really gets its greatest benefit at 100%, which, I mean, obviously. However, there's some things like cyborgs on reflect beams and certain times where the benefit off of tenacity is really not going to be fantastic unless you actually have it at that 10 of 10. Now, putting just one Chaos 8 amp into a relic with a 10 of 10 tenacity on it, of course, is going to jump you up to 100% duration of negative status effects. Now, this means it's going to completely ignore those cyborgs. It's going to completely ignore Kursakazi lanes. It gives you that added benefit of being a 100% reduction of the duration of negative status effects. So negative status effects, like the cyborg or like Kursakazi, just don't happen. You'll see the animations still go off, however, they have no effect on your defense. So as you see on my weapon manufacturers here, I've got 1 amp into this. It's still 0 of 5. I'm not going to go and upgrade it all the way up to 5 of 5. I just wanted to get that 100% tenacity on that particular defense. Now back over to the proton beams, and we'll take a look at Defense Rate Servo. Now, first off, to cap any defense in the game, to cap its rate, you want to get an additional 75% defense rate. Now, not all defenses require 75%, however, 75% defense rate will cap the defense speed of every single defense in the game. Now, of course, in your Ascension, your first 20 points in your utility category would naturally go into defense speed. Now, this is giving you 35% of that attack rate. Now, this means you need to come up with an additional 40% modifier to your defense speed to get your defense's attack rate down to the maximum where it's firing off absolutely as fast as it possibly can. Now, if we take a look at that 10 of 10 Chaos 7 defense rate shard, it's at 37.22%. So yep, it's close, however, it is not there. So we're not at the defense speed cap on the proton beams here, as I'm still dialing this defense in before I take it up to Chaos 8. However, right now, my proton beams will not hit the speed cap. Now, if you take that 10 of 10 defense rate up to Chaos 8, so you just give it 1 amp and the gold, then you're going to find yourself at that 40%. This is my Flame Aura relic here. As you see, I've just got the 1 amp into it. I didn't really find the need to dump 5 additional amps into it, and that gets my defense rate to the cap. I'm getting 40% defense rate from this particular mod, and I'm getting 35% for my Ascension, and that is going to cap that. Now, there's a reason why this is really important, is it then allows you to get rid of the defense rate shard and go with more power or more range or whatever else you want to add to that defense. So in this example, when I use this relic, which is my Flamewire relic, right now I've got it set up for just grinding Drakenfrost Keep. However, if I was to use the proper relic here, I would then get rid of defense rate, and I would put either Mass Destruction, Vampiric, any other option that I chose to put in here. I personally would go with more power, and I wouldn't sacrifice my defense speed or the range, as the range is going completely unaffected. Now, as I mentioned, I'm using this relic just to kind of farm up some of the Drakenfrost Keep runs and get those rerolls. This relic doesn't have defense speed on it, so I do have to use that shard slot. So 10 out of 10 tenacity will get you to 100% on your defenses at Chaos 8, and a defense rate mod will get you to the defense speed caps as long as you have the 20 points in the utility category into your Ascension. So if you just got your very first Chaos Amp, take this into consideration. If you don't have 10 of 10 mods, do not put the amp on it, as it's only going to cost more to move those amps around. Or pardon me, to move those mods around. Once you get a relic up to Chaos 8 status, and you want to do some kind of tinkering with it, to move something over to it, it's going to cost 25 of the pristine clusters, 5 hammers, and then the 200 defender medals or 60 gems. Now, if this was a Chaos 7 item, and we wanted to move something over to it, it's only going to cost 2 pristine citrine clusters. Big difference, from 25 to 2. So definitely make sure you get your relic completely fine-tuned before you make the jump and take it up to Chaos 8. Defense rate and tenacity are your bread and butter as far as mods that get the most benefit from going to Chaos 8. And the most important thing, since these amps are rare, is just think about it before you do it. So that will do it for now. If you have any more questions about where to spend your first Chaos 8 amp, let me know down in the comments below. So thank you once again, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.